Hi guys, welcome to another episode. Dream big and achieve big, right? And simple theory that I've learned probably at times in a hard way is come out of your comfort zone, right? It can be when it comes to earning more money, or it could be you're looking for a promotion, or you're trying to get to the next level in your relationship or at work or whatever. You have to come out of your comfort zone and explore new things. The reason why I said I learned the hard way is I was working for an accounting firm about 8 years ago. I was in the same position in that firm for a good 1.5 years, and I was happy. But I was in the same position. But had I come out of that comfort zone, I would have made the next level, and it would have done wonders in my career because it's one of the main firms in the world. But what I'm trying to say is, when it comes to job, when it comes to relationship, when it comes to investing, earning more money, you're going to be in the, you're not going to achieve what you dreamt big if you don't come out of your comfort zone. So we're going to talk about this topic in general through our personal experiences, like I shared, to give you some points about the pros of coming out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, actually, I experience a lot because I feel like I wasted a lot of years, right?
We all been there.
Yeah. Then I realized most people don't realize, and even now, like why people are staying in the same place 30 years, 40 years. I've seen somebody staying in the same team, working in a place, corporate environment, for 40 years and then retired. So think about I'm not talking about it's their fault or anything, but think about like how much of exploration you would have done like if you came out of it. It just because that's what, like, if I didn't come out, if I didn't move around multiple places, like I would not have experienced, I would not have this much uh gained a lot of experience,
Yeah.
right now. And then it gave me a next step. It's like a stepping stone. Every time I go back and see it, what if I stayed there? I would be still staying there, right?
Yeah.
What if I didn't take that step, extra
Yeah.
step that I was not comfortable?
Yeah.
I'm still not comfortable doing multiple things, but every day I'm trying to tackle those, right? And like YouTube videos, a year ago we were not comfortable doing YouTube videos,
Yeah.
and it's just like now we are very comfortable talking to you guys, and like explaining what we went through. Like, think about, can you do a video about yourself, like your life, for 15-20 minutes
Yeah.
in front of the camera? Like, nobody is watching you, right? Can you do it? That's
Right.
probably a challenge that we wanted to give you
Correct.
guys who are watching this now, and try to just explain something for 15 minutes in front of the camera, nobody there, and see how that goes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's about the personal experiences, like you said. We've all been there. And for an example, we talked about uh, trying to get into investment at the early age of 20s, right? So you might be
Mhm.
a little skeptical when you're around 20s, and that's why we always encourage you to start small, because one of the biggest things that we want to share it's you're going to an unknown zone because you're coming out of your comfort zone. Early 20s, you're just probably out of college or whatever. You're trying to land on a good paying, well paid job, so you don't know about investing. That's why we encourage you to start small. Anything that you do, even if you're going if you're in a relationship, you don't want to take the relationship level from 1 to 3. You have the first date and you don't want to propose on the third date, right?
Right.
So
That's not the over coming out of the totally to the comfort zone.
oh, yeah, so you have to have that steps followed. And that's one of the things that we want to share today is from A to you cannot jump from A to Z, especially when you're coming out of the comfort zone. So you have to go from A to B to C to, and then 25 more steps probably to get to the Z, get to the difficult zone in relationships, in investing, because especially investing, that's your money, right? So
Mhm.
you're talking about money and you probably don't have anything. So you cannot just rob a bank or something, do something to go to get your first townhome that we always talk about. So you have to have a plan. You probably waiting. You probably a waiter at a restaurant, or probably you're just doing some low paying job. How you're going to achieve that. You have to have that plan that we discussed in the previous episode. So we're not going to talk about that today, but have those steps,
Mhm.
follow that, and then gradually you can come out of your comfort zone. And also at a workplace too, right? You have to perform well, and you have to perform well to get to the next level. And how do you perform? You have to have plans, you have to have discipline, you have to have daily goals, probably weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals. And that's how you come out of the comfort zone. And again, anything in life, and even when we talk about financial independence, right? You cannot achieve financial independence by just sticking where you are. You have to come out of that. How do you come out of that? Is you have to have those plans set up when it comes to anything in life.
Yeah, by the time you come out, right, 20, when you are 20, like you are so fearful. And by the time you're not fearful, you wanted to come out of that fear, it's like you're 30, late 30s, right?
Yeah,
You have wasted a lot of time. Like that's why we were telling you guys, like anything that whatever fear you have, write it down in a sheet of paper.
good point.
And then just maybe do one a day, maybe. Like say you wanted to you cannot talk to people, talk to strangers. Let's say you cannot talk to strangers, that's uncomfortable for you.
At least make up something. Like you don't necessarily have to have a question to
Yeah,
ask from a stranger. Just
just
ask.
talk to one stranger every day.
Yeah, every day, just a
Right.
simple thing, what time or direction, because you're not trying to sell anything, right?
Right.
So
Right.
that's okay. We're coming to a good point. Imagine you're a salesperson, right? Your first job is sales, or your second job.
Actually, you can force yourself to join a salesperson. Like if you wanted to come out of it, just to
Yes,
do a part-time job as a
exactly.
salesperson, you get that fear off.
That's a great. That's actually a great point. And also, if you are planning to get your sales job and you're kind of naive and skeptical about it, and you can just try out strangers, like asking time, asking directions, something like that, because it it really doesn't bother anyone, because you're not trying to sell anything at this point. You're just asking for some help. And 99% of the time, if you ask directions, they will either tell you the answer or they will say no. That's the worst
Right.
that can happen. So there's nothing to lose, and so just try out. That's all. It doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, as long as it feels logical to to you, and it feels sensible to talk in
Yeah,
that way. Like not we're not talking about like go and say something very uncomfortable
yeah,
to the other person.
right.
Uncomfortable to you, like talking in the phone, picking up the phone and
Yeah,
talking to some reps, customer reps. You don't want to do that. Are you talking to like a harder person that they don't listen to you? Those kind of like
yeah,
that's you don't want to do that. You have fear. You're living around a bubble, right? It's a fear of multiple things.
right.
Just come out of it. That is what, like, slowly come out of it.
Yeah.
Don't try to come out of at the same
Right away. Yeah, yeah, that's right. So A to Z, it's hard. Just follow the steps: A to B to C to, and then all the way down to Z. And personal experience, I have a quick one. I worked at a Taekwondo studio, Master Harrison studio, and I was supposed to do the sales. I was supposed to be the sales guy, talking to parents, talking to students. And one thing I that was out of my comfort zone was that, but that's not what I'm trying to get at. I was in charge of a small class. I've never taught Taekwondo, and before my first class, I had to come out of my comfort zone, right? I used to talk. I love to talk, but teaching is a different skill. So how I placed myself, or how I prepped myself, was I was teaching myself in my house, and I was teaching my wife, a few things, and for a few days, and then I was kind of. I'm not telling it's exactly the same feeling, but at least you knew something. At least you know what to say. The words will come out of your mouth when you go to that studio and still really start teaching. I was starting with the warm-ups. I was doing the same thing for myself, same thing for my wife. Like I was pushing her to do push-ups and all sorts of jumping jacks. Whether she does or not, that's a different story. At least you tell some person who's in front of you, so you know how it is. At least you experience a little bit of that. So that's how you have to have those things planned sometimes before you go to the real thing.
Right, right. That reminds me of like fake it until you make it. Like, maybe you can just think about when you are uncomfortable to do something, see what the comfortable people doing, like good salesperson, how they're doing it. Maybe they're dressing up nicely, and
Yeah,
then like you do that at least outside, like fake it. And then people will come to you. They think that you're expert.
yeah,
Maybe you're not expert. That's fine.
right. But
You just
dress up
start
like
with
that,
that.
like yeah,
Start with that, and then learn. Like once they start respecting you as a salesperson, right? You automatically get to that, come out of that comfort zone.
and that's a good point, Venkat, because when people see that you're well dressed, that earns respect. So people tend to listen sometimes because he's well dressed, and especially sometimes people even recommend when you talk to someone on Zoom, on Skype, to have a very nice background, like bunch of books. You don't
Standing
necessarily
out.
have them, very well stacked books right behind you.
Right.
So the person will not think that you have read all that, but it gives a good impression. So it's about creating that impression. That's what
Mhm.
you're saying, right?
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
the first impression goes a long way. And so that's a good point. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it's basically changing the psychology on the other side.
Yeah,
It could be a manager, it could be your senior manager or executives you're talking to, right? Like what are they expecting? Like, understand their expectations, and then just play along with it.
yeah,
Play along with it and act on it in the beginning at least. And then but you become it, right? Like I think we had an episode about it. First
yeah.
you act on it, and then you become it, and then kind of learn the tactics and strategies,
Right.
what works, and then just follow that. And that's how you just slowly come out of your comfort zone. And then these things, actually, if you just do that, come out of your comfort zone, you can achieve so many things, right? It's just limitless
Yeah, yeah.
in terms of financial success, or your career success, your relationship
Any
success,
dream that you have, achieve
everything.
financial independence, like you said, getting your relationship to the next level, or work doesn't necessarily have to be promotions. At least some good at creating good atmosphere between you and your peers or your subordinates or your managers, whoever. For anything, if you want to do that, you have it. If you don't want any of that, that's fine. That's a different story. But we talk to people who want to take it to the next level. So
Right,
if you're
right.
watching us right now, we're talking to you guys. So
Right. I hope this reminded you some, at least you got some points out of this.
refreshing.
Yeah, so you can take this to the next level. Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
for watching. Bye now.